Good morning, everyone. My name is Jaron Price, and I serve as the President and CEO of the Downtown DC Business Improvement District. It is an extreme pleasure to be able to welcome you today as the city begins its efforts to mobilize ahead of hypothermia season. It's even more of an honor to do it with so many dedicated city leaders, public service professionals, community-based and faith-based organizations, and of course, members of the downtown community. I'm especially glad to welcome you here today to this very special place, the Downtown Day Services Center, which is located right here at the historic New York Avenue Presbyterian Church. 6 years ago, in February 2019, this center opened through a powerful partnership between the Downtown DC Business Improvement District and the DC Department of Human Services and this incredible church community. And together we envisioned a space where individuals experiencing homelessness could find not just services, but dignity, stability, and hope. Every single day, more than 225 guests come through these doors to access showers, meals, laundry, medical and behavioral health care, employment support, housing connections, and most importantly, a community that sees and values them. We operate under a housing-first model because we believe that every person deserves a safe place to call home, and that stability is the foundation for every single other thing that's needed. Now, this work would not be possible without our extremely important partners at the Department of Human Services, as well as all of the dedicated providers who operate out of the center, including Pathways to Housing, HIPS, the H3 Project, Unity Health, and of course the United Planning Organization known as UPO, who show up with compassion and commitment day after day, year after year. And it's now my pleasure to let you know that you're going to hear from many folks today, but I get to introduce a very special guest. This individual has actually been driving with UPO for more than 31 years and serving on the front lines every single day. I want to introduce you to Miss Lisa West.
Thank you, Mr. Price. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Lisa West, and I am a driver and outreach worker from the United Planning Organization. And our mission is to unite people with opportunities. You know those white vans and buses you see with shelter hotline transport and big red letters on the side? I drive those. That's our van over there. I've been a driver and outreach worker for 31 years, saving lives and helping people every day. We're the eyes and the ears of the city. Our goal is to get people inside to shelters where there's additional support. We pick up people who are cold and need someplace warm. We pick up people who are hungry and need to eat something to eat. We protect their health and bring them life-sustaining items as if they are family. We're good listeners too. We people appreciate how people appreciate having someone to listen to their stories. And I heard a lot of them. Nowadays, while I'm working, people will come to me and say, thank you for helping me get off the street. I am proud to save lives. I am proud to live in the city that supports this work. So on behalf of UPO, I want to thank the Department of Human Services for their partnership and invitation to speak today. And thank you, Mayor Bowser, for making the shelter hotline a priority. And now here's my honor to say, please welcome Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, let's give Ms. West a big round of applause. And I want to thank her and all of you for joining us today to take the pledge and spread the word about how we can work together to keep all of our neighbors safe during the winter months. It has been several years since we gathered here to take this pledge, but this is a good time to bring it back because we're looking at some potentially frigid weather headed our way this weekend. I want to especially thank Director Pierre and the entire team at the Department of Human Services. Thank you, Director Pierre, as well as all of our partner organizations, including UPO, who runs our shelter hotline, for everything they do to support residents experiencing homelessness during hypothermia season. For more than a decade, we have been transforming the systems that support individuals and families experiencing homelessness, making them more effective, more compassionate, and more focused on connecting people with services and ultimately permanent housing. In fact, just over a week ago, we were celebrating the first Housing Production Trust Fund project west of Rock Creek Park. A portion of the housing is reserved for permanent supportive housing for residents who have experienced homelessness. And in the audience for that ribbon cutting was a resident of the new building who told us that he had been living in a men's shelter 2 years ago. He said he went through some challenging times but didn't lose hope or faith. And on a recent Friday, he felt he was at a low point and prayed for his next opportunity. And on the Monday, he got a call offering him a spot at the new senior living facility. And now he's living in a beautiful apartment. And that story was just another good reminder of how important our work together is. This work is helping people get through their toughest moments and making sure that their prayers get answered. So right now, our number one priority, especially as the days and nights get colder, is to get people inside. That is what this pledge is all about. It's a pledge saying that if you see someone who is outside in the cold, one of the easiest ways you can help is by calling the shelter hotline. And that number is 202-399-7093, and you can simply call 311. Then a trained professional like Ms. West can come in person to make sure our resident knows their options and hopefully accept a ride to shelter. We have room inside. So for many reasons, the safest place for people is inside, and we have that space. So now I'm going to turn to Director Pierre to talk about our winter plans, and then we will come and take the pledge.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor Bowser. I really want to join the mayor in thanking everyone who came out to join us today and all of those who helped make this event possible. Thank you, Jaron Price and the Downtown DC BID, for your partnership and continued support to our neighbors experiencing homelessness. Thank you to our outreach providers, Pathways to Housing DC, Miriam's Kitchen, and Community Connections. Thank you to the Shelter Hotline team and everyone at UPO, including Ms. West. Thank you to our community partners, Gift for the Homeless, Agape, SOC Ministry, Martha's Outfitters, Catholic Charities, and Wegmans. And finally, thank you to the Mayor's Office, DMHHS, and my team at the DC Department of Human Services. Thank you to the ICH led by Teresa Silla, DBH, DC Health, HCMA, and MPD for helping to put together this event and supporting our neighbors in ensuring their safety during the cold weather. We appreciate all of you. The district remains committed to preventing cold weather injury and continuing to meet its right to shelter mandate during hypothermia season. The district is one of only few of the jurisdictions in the country that provides a legal right to shelter in hypothermic weather conditions. And we will continue our proactive, forward-leaning posture in supporting our neighbors experiencing homelessness. We know that cold weather injuries are preventable. The key is having the proper resources in place, which we do. and ensuring community members know how they can help, which is why we've gathered here today. Our goal is to have everyone who is staying outside come into shelter and out of the cold. We've already increased our shelter capacity to meet increased demand to nearly 1,300 beds, and we will bring additional beds as needed throughout the season. We have day centers like the one at downtown day services centers that Jaron told us about, where people can go and stay warm during the day, access basic needs like restrooms, laundry, and get connected to supportive services and case management. Our outreach teams are deployed throughout the city, helping people keep people safe by conducting wellness checks, distributing warming items, and bringing unsheltered residents in from the cold. One slight change you'll notice this season is the name of our weather alerts. We'll have cold alerts and extreme cold alerts. These alerts are both a public reminder to stay safe and remain vigilant, and as a prompt to district agencies to adjust operations based on the forecasted temperature and weather conditions. The district made this change to simplify alert communications. So for more information about alerts and the increased services we provide during hypothermia season, please visit our website at cold.dc.gov. Again, that website is cold.dc.gov, the district's one-stop resource for hypothermia season. With that, I'd like to invite Mayor Bowser to come back to the podium and lead us into a pledge to help our neighbors during cold weather. And we invite all of you to take the pledge.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to read a few lines, and then I'll ask you to repeat them with me. Oh, it looks like you have them. When I wave my hand, you say your own name, okay? Got it, everybody? When I wave my hand, you say your own name. I, Muriel Bowser, pledge to do my part, keep residents safe during this, you can say it with me since you haven't, to keep my neighbors safe this winter by calling 311 or the shelter hotline at 202-399-7093 to request free accessible transportation to a shelter if I see an individual outside in the cold, or 911 if I see someone who appears to be immediately at risk. Thank you for taking the pledge. Okay.
Thank you. West with the last signature.
All right. Very good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
I can move the podium out of the way right quick.
Okay, let's just stand over here. Okay. Thank you. Our friends at Wegmans are here. Thank you for being here, as well as the city administrator and deputy mayor and Ms. Sia from our Interagency Council on Homelessness. Thank you for being here. Am I taking questions now? Okay, I'm able to take a few questions. Questions? Yes.
Historically, helping homeless people, one of the challenges has been convincing them to take advantage of services,
Yes.
get inside, even in cold weathers, for various reasons, rules, pets, whatever. Has that trend changed at all? And is there anything specific the city is doing to kind of like bridge that gap?
Well, let me ask Director Pierre to speak on that. And our colleagues like Ms. West, who are out in neighborhoods on streets every day, they have varying levels of success, as you mentioned, in convincing people to come inside. Our goal is to let them know that we have a clean, safe, warm place And it's dangerous in hypothermia season. People are vulnerable health-wise or frail. They could succumb to the cold. So it's so important to get them inside. Let me ask Rachel to say more.
Thank you, Mayor. And one of the things that we are doing a little differently, the mayor has invested a lot into renovating our shelters, and oftentimes our residents they have a perception of shelter that is not necessarily accurate. My team has started using lookbooks so that we can bring the information to our residents so they can see what the shelters are look like on the inside to encourage people to come inside, and we have seen some success in those interventions.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
So I know that you guys had a shift in the homelessness strategy a bit away from rapid rehousing. There was a bit of an anticipation that that might increase an impact on the shelter capacity. Can you give a sense of how that new strategy is going and if there has been any impact on shelter capacity?
Rachel?
Yes, thank you. It was important for us to take the feedback from the community, from our neighbors, from our stakeholders and our clients, that we take our times when our families come into shelter and help them develop a plan that's sustainable for them. But for that, we track shelter capacity, and we have no concern about shelter capacity for the moment. Thank you.
Can you speak to services for entire families? Sometimes folks worry there's room for one, but there may not be room for all. Can you speak to that?
So we have shelter capacity for anybody who comes in, who wants to come inside. So whether you're single, whether you're a family with a minor child, or a family, an adult family, that's why the interventions would like East Street and the Aston were very important complement to our shelter inventory, because it allows us to fill the gap that we know we had in our system, and now we have a place for anyone who wants to come inside together.
And so what Rachel was referring to is that we've just, in the last couple of years, added many units of bridge housing, which gives us more capacity for people who are working their way to permanent housing. We continue to rely on our short-term family housing for families as well. The bridge housing has allowed us to address adult children and couples. Okay. Yes.
I've got two questions off topic, Mayor.
Are there any other questions? No other questions? Okay, go ahead.
I want to take it back to 2023. Can you explain your reasoning why you accepted $61,000 in travel from Qatar after it paid $4 billion to purchase 5% of Monumental Sports and Entertainment? Both appear now to be prohibited sources according to D.C. law. And then you brokered a $500 million deal to improve Capital One Arena with Monument and in part with Qatar.
Oh, I'm happy to talk about why we saved the Washington Capitals and the Washington Wizards for downtown Washington. It is anchoring our downtown comeback, and we're very pleased with that. So let me address your larger question that I've been talking to you about for 2 years. A business trip, a publicly noticed trip to promote Washington, D.C. in Qatar. That's what we did, and we don't have any bones about saying it. Anybody else? Yep.
Mayor, the New York Times is reporting that the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office has you under investigation. They're claiming a corruption investigation. Do you have a comment on that? And then I have a follow-up to that.
And Axios is reporting that I'm not under investigation. So make your question complete. I am not under investigation. I have not been contacted by any federal officials about investigating me.
And that's my follow-up, is that our sources are saying that there's been no subpoenas to your office, no one's been questioned in your office, that there's been no target letter, there's been no information indicating that there's even an investigation. Do you have a comment on that?
We haven't been contacted at all.
No subpoenas, no nothing?
No. Yeah.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm wondering if you have contacted anyone in the White House or in the Justice Department to seek explanation for some of this conflicting reporting about the investigation, and if you have been made aware of anyone else in your administration who may be the subject or target of an investigation.
No. So I have checked our lawyers, and we have a regular kind of chain of who talks to who, and we have not been contacted, not related to me or to anybody else as I'm aware, and I have no explanation from federal officials about what happened. Sorry?
Have you sought one?
No, we haven't. Yes. Go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, hi, Mayor. God bless you today.
Thank you.
It's been a real blessing because I've had to use this day center shelter and other shelters, and I was connected because I was hijacked by the park police, and my vehicle was stolen with a towing company. On their citations at U.S. District Court, so I filed a $10 million jury demand for the violation, confiscation of my constitutional rights.
Okay.
So I need my wallet and my phone and these types of things. Can you help me get my stuff? Because a D.C. police officer said that I can get my stuff by showing my citations to
Okay,
them.
let me have somebody follow up with you from DHS, and we'll see what we can do. I want to thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming out.